Oh, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Y'all already know who it is. Targeted individual CJBK, aka Chris James. Um, I said I'm gonna take my time. Um, and then really not even try not to think too much about what I want to say. Because I feel like when I try to hold on to a thought and try to think about everything that I want to say, they just basically continue. They overflow energy into the memory processing region of my brain. So then all of a sudden when I'm trying to remember things that I want to say, it's like I have this intense brain fog. Now I really want to start really like communicating or getting in contact with people who study Eastern medicine, people who understand energy centers in the body, people who understand the power of meditation and things of that sort. Because I believe those people are going to be the true like they're going to be the true keys. People who are masters of meditation, people who understand natural energy, people who understand universal energy, people who understand that your thoughts themselves are energy, the words that you speak are energy. These people are going to be the most important people of this century. Why? Because those people are going to be the opposition to go up against the techno pagans, or aka the technocrats, aka the transhumanists, right? These natural human beings who have learned how to master the energy that drives their body, they're going to be the most important people in this century. We are in a very critical point for humanity. And I can say this because humanity in itself is in a full out war between principalities, wickedness in high places. You know, the stuff that they talk about in what is it? Ephesians. Yeah, there we go. The book of Ephesians. Let me just tell you, right? Like I tell everyone, I am not an expert in anything, honestly. I am not an expert in anything. I'm not even sure if I could call myself a jack of all trades. Because I've always had interest in almost anything. But I never really mastered anything. But anything that interests me, and if it really grabs me, I know that I can go into what I would call a hyper focus, where I would basically put so much time and energy into learning about whatever this thing is that has my attention. And I have to devote all of my attention to this one thing until I get it out of my system, right? So, right now as I'm speaking to you, they have, I don't even know, I wish there was a way I could measure just how many, I don't know, how many frequencies or how many different links or how many different signals or whatever, probably signals, because oftentimes, and I've been hearing it quite a bit as I've been learning how to use my natural chi to try to locate many of the connections I've been feeling that's interacting with the neurons along the skull, but also the neurons deep within the brain that, the frequency penetrates through the skin and through the skull to try to get to those lower in-depth neurons that's hidden within the brain. I probably should have came on this side. It's gonna be so much louder on the West Side Highway. But so, and as I'm saying it, I'm like doing this with my hand, like I'm like doing this, because I'm thinking to myself, how could humanity be this close to actually being able to end all violence, have global world peace? I mean, we're this close to having like no more, with the technology that they're using. And can we even really say it's experimenting at this point? Because I mean, I don't think that it's really experimenting, because think about it. The transhumanists are already using the technology for themselves. They have already augmented their body. They have already augmented their DNA. They have already augmented, their brains. They're already linked. Their brains are already linked to the cloud server, right? They're so linked. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you this. I believe I am becoming so electromagnetically sensitive to all energies around me. I can literally hold my hand out like this, and I can feel the thickness in the air, and it's not the wind. I can feel the energy. I can feel the wind brushing up against my hand, but there is something else that's thick, that's in the air. There's some other thickness that's in the air. Now, while I was on the train, I think it was this morning. I was on a train with my girlfriend. We're on our way to work, and every day, like they always do, they're loading my body up with energy. They're just loading my body up. I mean, just filling me up, filling up the cranium, filling up the chest cavity, filling up the stomach. Actually, is kind of more like, okay, when it comes to the brain or the skull, it's like the energy is like it. They concentrate like a large amount of energy on the right side, or mostly a lot of it is really dealing with the right hemisphere of the brain. is everything. I'm realizing that a lot of the attacks that they do, it all focuses on the right hemisphere of the brain. They focus a lot of energy on the right hemisphere of the brain. Now, I paused for a minute so I could try to get some of this. I don't know whether it's gas or maybe it's just the particles of energy that's stored up inside of the skull, or inside the cranium or whatever. Yeah, so they're doing it a lot more now. It's like, damn, I really be trying so hard to maintain my train of thought, but as I'm talking, the pressure just builds up so much on the right side of my head. And when it's like the pressure builds up so much on the right side of my head as I'm talking, and I'm trying to hold on to what I'm saying, but as I'm talking and I'm trying to remember, I feel the pressure builds up. And as the pressure builds up, all of a sudden I can't remember what it is that I'm talking about no more. Do you know how much activity goes on in your brain, your memory processing area, when you're trying to have a conversation? Like, so then now when you think about how they're basically using ultrasound and light to override your control over your neurons, and then they can manipulate what you can recall and what can't you recall. And not only that, because your brain is linked to the cloud server, and it's also linked to a brain computer interface where whatever memory or image or whatever they want to create on the computer, they can basically use the BCI to convert that computerized data into an electrical signal. Now, as I'm saying this, they're attacking me in the right side of my rib, so I gotta get it out. They take whatever it is that they coded up, and then they have it converted into electrical signal, so then it is then transmitted to you. And as much as I try to, I realize there are times where I can block some signals, and it's kind of like a flex. I've done it several times in the past, but I think I've done it so much to the point where they figured out how I do it. Even if I haven't fully understood how I do it, I just know I could do it. They found some way to use their technology to kind of like keep my to keep whatever it is in my brain that they're flowing all this data or electrical impulses into. It's like they're keeping it open. What I used to do, and I explained this in earlier videos, where sorry, because it's like as I'm trying to speak, so like right here, I can feel signals going into the brain through here. You know, your pineal gland, midbrain, right in between the eyes, but it's in the center of the brain. It's in the very center, right? As I continue to like open my mouth, it's like I open something else that's in like some part of the brain opens up. Like when I do that, I feel something else in the mid part of the brain opens up, and then all of a sudden, whatever that stuff is that they're storing inside my brain, it leaks out. Like it leaks out like a gas, and then it comes out. I don't know if it's coming out through like glands or pores inside the mouth, but it comes out. It comes out almost like a gas, and it seeps out through the side of the mouth. Now, back to the train station, back to riding on the train with my girlfriend, right? So, I had something was in me to say, let me show her exactly what I'm dealing with. Because I was like, I don't think she understands exactly what I'm feeling 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Like, she's getting targeted, but I don't know. She's a lot better than me when it comes to still trying to be a part of the current world that we're in. I realized I have lost some care for certain things of our current society. I've never really been a materialistic person. Never really was big on like shopping, and I don't know. I was never really big on, I don't know. Like hell, having a car in New York City, that wouldn't be considered a necessity for me. Like if I needed to use a car for a job, or if it would be much more easier to get a car for whatever other reason, then yeah. But a lot of people really just want a car just so they can say they have a car. Most people don't even actually need a car in the city. Most people really don't need a car in New York City. You can literally rent a car, but you don't need to own one, right? But anyway, yeah, I'm trying to get some more of it out of my damn brain, man. But yeah, it's like it's like having it's like having a heat lamp that's concentrated on a very center part of my skull, and it doesn't burn the skin. There's no pain to the skull. It's like it completely bypasses the skin and the skull, and it goes directly for the neurons in the brain. And then as it goes directly for the neurons in the brain, I'm assuming, or I believe what's happening, because I feel like I've been reading study after study after study after study, and I'm only just trying to make sense of the things that I'm reading, these peer-reviewed studies, right? So I'm like, the neurons or the tissue of the brain must be being heated to the point where now the cells are releasing gas into the cranium, and now it's slowly coming out. That, or I've also had this other idea where technically what is actually happening all around us is we're moving through gaseous chemicals that probably can pick up the charges of all the radio waves and microwaves, sun's rays, whatever. I don't know. Maybe there's like these chemical components that are like these chemicals that's flowing through the air. They're picking up the charges that's all around us, and what they can do with the technology is basically form a beam or something, or I guess gather all these particles into like a concentrated beam, and then force it to flow into your body, because you are conductive. Your body is conductive. So next thing you know, I think that's what the feeling really is, because think about it like this. My girl and I were sitting on a train, and I was like, Tree, I explained to her how I feel that this gas like stuff leak out through the mouth. So I say, here, hold your hand in front of my mouth, right? So I just open my jaw, and you remember how I tell you, when I open my jaw at a certain angle, it literally releases like it's right, because if I think about it even more, the mandible is not connected to the top, to the rest of the skull. So if it was to seep out, it would be seeping out through wherever that it would be seeping out through that joint where the jaw meets, where the mandible or the jaw meets the rest of the skull. I think that's where it's leaking out through, because it's coming down and then it comes this way. But it only comes this way when I drop my jaw down to a certain extent. If I drop it too low, if I drop it all the way down, it still flows out, but it doesn't flow out as smooth if I open my jaw like halfway, midway, then it's kind of like a consistent flow. And that's without exhaling out my mouth. So I told my girl, I was like, hey, hold your hand in front of my mouth, right? So she held her hand in front of my mouth, right? And then I asked her, I was like, do you feel that? Because I can feel it seeping out of my mouth. So as she held her hand in front of my mouth, she said, she looked at me, and then she slowly started backing her hand away, and she said, yeah, my hand feels tingly and numb now. And I was like, right. So, and I was like, okay. Now, that was me just having my mouth open without even exhaling. So then I had her do it again with me actually exhaling, trying to see if I can try to project it more out of my mouth. Once she did that, she said it felt like if, let me see, almost as if she had cotton candy wrapped around her hand. And it was weird. Like she said, it felt like she stuck her hand in a I don't know, like it was a thick fog that had an electrical charge to it or something like that. Now, I'm doing my best to try to give as many details about what I'm experiencing, because right now, the only ones who's truly calling us crazy are those who are already augmented. The ones who are already augmented, they're the ones calling us crazy because they don't want everyone else to find out what's happening, right? Now, granted, we also have to take in consideration, this is why we need to get in touch with people who are, Eastern medicine practitioners, and even those who may be considered like people who study, astrophysics or whatever. Because I believe that there is a major energy shift that's about to happen on Earth because of what humans are doing to the Earth, so that they can be able to make themselves more, acclimated for the technology, so then they could be able to use the technology and, well, quote unquote, not die from the radiation that they're putting in their body. Because I mean, think about it. Let's just say they're not using nanobots, right? Let's just say they're not using nanobots to do the monitoring. Let's just say it's just straight lights, it's just straight lasers and ultrasound. That's still radiation going into the body. Why? Because light traveling through space, if the source it's coming from is not powerful enough, it'll lose strength as it travels. It'll lose strength as it travels through space. But if it's coming from a strong enough source, and if it's coming from a strong enough source, and the frequency is amplified enough, it should be able to travel through space and time without losing charge. Now, that's just without that's just me thinking about it without nano robots or whatever. Now, with the nano robots, you gotta think about it like this. The nano robots actually give off an electromagnetic field themselves, radiation. Now remember, these nanobots, they're not organic, which means they're giving off a synthetic electromagnetic field radiation that's not necessarily, well, and we don't even gotta say it necessarily, it's not healthy for organic beings. That's a lot of times why, whatchamacallit, never mind that part. But yeah, it's not healthy. It's not, we're not supposed to be we're not supposed to be trying to surround ourselves around more synthetic electromagnetic fields, because it's all having adverse effects against our natural, I guess, cellular functionings. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And it's like, what I'm doing right now is like, I literally, I just take my hand and I locate where I feel probably one of the more stronger frequency beams, and I just take my hand and I go like this. I try to trap it in between my thumb and the base of my index finger. Once I trap it, I will then begin to feel the vibration of the wave, and the tighter I hold it, the stronger I feel it. Just the pulse, it shakes so viciously. I could feel it almost as if like something, like I was holding a string. Like I feel it almost as if like I was holding a string in between my fingers, and then someone on the other end was just going like this on the other end of the string while I'm holding it. Yeah. She didn't care. Oh, y'all didn't see that. She just walked right out there in front of all these cars. But anyway, and even to this moment, I'm still holding the frequency, right? I'm still holding it. But now the other thing I noticed, if I take that frequency, remember I had grabbed this one from the top of my head. If I go around, if I imagine what the aura, right? If I imagine my aura and I go around my aura, I literally feel that same frequency kind of picking up other frequencies that's located all throughout the body. Because remember, your whole aura is mostly made, your whole aura basically is color that you can't see it, but there's cameras, there's special cameras. I think one that I know of is called a gas discharge camera, and it could actually take the picture of the radiant energy coming from your body. A gas discharge camera. Your aura is made of, your aura shows colors. Your aura not only shows colors, but also shows temperature. I'm trying to remember everything, but it's like, as I try to keep remembering, they keep trying to like, and it's like, I know what I'm saying, but it's so hard to get it all out in one saying. It's like, that's why a lot of times I try to tell y'all what exactly to look for. There's a really, really great peer-reviewed study that everyone should look for. It's called I think it's called Human Brain / cloud interfacing. I think that's what it's called. And it's several pages long, and it has probably over a dozen different doctors and scientists who are all a part of the study in looking into the process of linking the human brain to the cloud. Yeah. Whoa. See, now they're going for my Now they're going for my sacral energy point, because now my stomach is starting to feel like it's being filled up with gas. And the way it happens is, it's like I realized that like one day I was trying to find all the frequencies around my body, and then at one point I had my hand in front of my belly button, just like this. I had my hand in front of my belly button, just like this, and all of a sudden I picked up a frequency that was going right into the belly button. It goes into the belly button and then it comes up and stops, like right above the belly button. That's where your sacral chakra energy point is here. You got your sacral here, solar plexus is here, your heart chakra is here, your heart's over here, but your heart chakra is here. You got your throat chakra, pineal gland, and then you got your crown up here. They attack the energy points of your body, and they try to manipulate or for hell, even a better word, they try to mangle you in that sense. They attack your energy points. Ooh, it's hot out here. Yeah, I'm trying, y'all. I'm already aware of how dangerous what I'm doing is, but at the same time, look, we wouldn't have some of the liberties and freedoms we have now if everybody stopped what they were doing, because think about it like this. America wouldn't be America today if it wasn't for people who weren't afraid to go against something bigger than them, or people that was more powerful than they are, or let me put quotations on that, powerful. Because we tend to forget that, like, God has specific people on this planet. You might not know who they are right now, but there are several people on this planet right now who are probably more powerful than they will ever understand, but they just haven't been woken up to it yet. Not only that, there's a lot that has been kept from us when it comes to like knowledge and information about the human experience and the spiritual energy and body. I mean, think about it like this. Nazi scientists traveled to Asia and India to get to like learn about, you know, spiritual energy from all those other cultures. And you know what they did when they went over there? They took that information and experimented and tried to find ways on how they can weaponize or create a weapon that will basically interfere with the natural flow of energy in the human body. Look at what we're doing today. Remember, after the war, we didn't just capture and imprison, you know, whatever Nazi scientists were out there. We literally brought them over here so that they can finish their experiments, so they can finish doing what they were doing, but they were going to do it under the guise of, you are now working for the United States. Fast forward to today, you got the gang stalking that you see now, right? Now, we also got to remember, Nazis were definitely Luciferians. They were definitely into Satanist stuff. They were definitely into sacrifices and all that stuff, like most other secret societies. Remember, there's a German secret societies. There's I think there's African secret societies. I'm not sure myself, but there's secret societies of all different, you know, from various different parts of the world, right? I'm just telling you right now that the universe is about to be completely fed up with what is happening on Earth, because all of this energy that they're supposedly trying to manipulate and use for some selfish beneficial reason. Because I mean, we don't need to manipulate more energy in order to have a better life on earth. We just need to respect the energy that we actually have right now. But then when you think about it, it's not even that they're manipulating energy for like reasons to try to help anyone. No, it's literally to dominate. Dominate. That's all it's for, is to dominate. And I guarantee you, the sun is going to be one of the most important. This thing up here, that star right there, that's about to be one of the most important things that we have completely underestimated when it comes to all life here on this planet, and how the sun and all the other planets in this galaxy all are in unison. They're all communicating with each other. The Earth has a resonant frequency of, I think it was like 7.8, between 7.8 and 7.83, something like that. And then the Earth can communicate with all the other planets and all the stars and everything else that's in the universe, right? If the Earth feels like it's getting sick, the Earth is going to start telling the other planets, look, there's something going on in here. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to need some help soon. Trust and believe the Earth is going to live longer than humans. Trust and believe that. We will die before God lets the Earth get destroyed by us. Take note of all the increasing heart attacks, strokes, autoimmune things, and neurological. Like, take note of the increase of all these things that's happening. Now, you're gonna get some people to say, "Oh, well, the secret societies and the gang stalkers, they're the ones that's killing people." There's that, but then you also gotta remember, there's an energy that is flowing from space that is getting through into Earth. Remember, there's a hole. People tend to forget there's a hole in the Earth's ozone layer. So whatever energy that's in space and then that's flowing towards the Earth, it's probably coming through that hole. And as it comes through that hole, it's is probably that energy is being absorbed by millions of people. And those who are not able to actually manually sustain themselves, they're going to experience what we're looking at right now. And it's only going to get worse. Because remember, we're dealing with cosmic energy that's coming towards the Earth. But then we're also dealing with the synthetic energy of all these electronic devices that's, being forced on our everyday lives. So humans don't even realize that they're being attacked on so many fronts, even by the things that we purchase. Now, I think what the transhumanists are doing, they are basically changing their DNA. They're changing their it's like they're changing what it means for them to be human. They're changing all those things just so that they can be able to absorb more energy and not get sick from it. You can't do that. You can't do that. That's not going to work. At some point, it's going to collapse. The bubble is going to collapse. And every single person who thought that they were going to use this technology to basically make themselves better than other people, remember this. In many scriptures, it always says at some point, whatever was up must come down, and whatever was down must go up. A lot of people have been down, and we've been watching a lot of people supposedly A lot of people supposedly getting rich, and then it seems like there's a lot. It seems like there's a lot of people getting rich, or maybe I'm just in the area where it seems like a lot of people, they money's everywhere, and then I don't know. There's so much to try to like dissect in this whole thing, but yeah. I'm gonna keep on working on this. I'm gonna leave y'all with that for now. I'm waiting for my girl to get out of work, and yeah, I will check in with you guys later. Take life one breath, one thought, one step, one day at a time. Peace.